Hi parents, guardians, and students. The following tutorial video will walk you through how to utilize the graphic organizer available on our media webpage to analyze any media piece. Anything that tells and sells or persuades, informs, or entertains is considered to be a media piece. Now that being said, we most typically utilize the graphic organizer that I'm about to present to you to analyze television commercials. The questions available within our graphic organizer have been borrowed and modified from the Media Triangle Literacy Analysis approach. Students are to analyze the media piece's text, target audience, and memorable production values. I highly recommend that students pre-read the guiding questions that require answering within our organizer so that they approach the advertisement with a particular lens on.
Allow me to present to you our media analysis guiding questions. As per usual, students are reminded to use the words in the question to start their answer. What is this advertisement trying to tell and sell? Did the advertiser use formal, fancy, technical language or informal, simple, non-technical words and tone? And why? Students are reminded to support their answer with specific references from the text. For example, one can cite a timestamp, that is, a specific time in which a given piece of evidence appears in, let's say, a television commercial. As for the audience, who are the advertisers trying to target? Males, females, both genders? What are their approximate ages? Typically, advertisers will include actors that represent their target audience. So, if there are 20 males and no females, that tends to suggest that they're targeting only males. As for production, students are asked to identify advertising techniques and production values that were featured in this advertisement by checking off the boxes provided. Lastly, they are asked, in their own opinion, what was the single most memorable or influential part of this advertisement? Students are asked to explain how this technique or production value impacts their interest in the product and to support their answer with specific examples from the text. Let's take a look at an award-winning commercial followed by a strong work sample.
We all got something to prove. We all got something to prove. We all got something to prove. We all got something to prove.
After watching the commercial, I'm sure you would agree with me that the advertiser is indeed trying to tell and sell Gatorade X Factor sports drink. Notice how I capitalize the product's name because it is, after all, a proper noun. Very important person, place, or thing. You'll notice in the following response just how specific, that is, how small and clear I am when I support my answer with proof in the text. The advertiser used informal words that are repeated over and over through song. I heard them say, "We've all got something to prove," about 10 times. I think they used these words because they wanted the audience to feel challenged. They're almost daring us to prove our sports abilities. Sports are usually relaxed areas of play, so they match that with informal words like got something instead of have something, in this case, to prove. They also use informal tone with a scream at the end, Sports can be quite aggressive with people fighting one another to win. As for the target audience, I've suggested to students keep count of how many males and females appear within an advertisement. Here's my response. The advertisers are trying to target both males and females, though there seems to be more male athlete actors shown in the commercial than female. This might suggest a slight preference for male consumers. Most of the athletes seem to be between the ages of 12 to 35. This response can be improved with an exact count of how many males and females actually appear.
The advertiser used many things, in my opinion, to make this commercial memorable. You'll notice that I cite, in my opinion, that the music was the most impactful production value. In this award-winning commercial, the advertisers used a background song that slowly built up in energy. At the very end, the music reached a crescendo. This crescendo coincided with the logo and slogan dramatically flashing up on the screen, further underscoring its importance. The background music also synced up perfectly with the slow revelation of the alphabet of sport. Just a reminder that our Media Studies webpage has a variety of tips, tools, and graphic organizers available to assist with your media analysis work. Lastly, I want to point out that we have available for download our graphic organizer and a summary of commonly used advertising techniques and production values. Happy writing!